So, pretty busy weekend for the Democratic National Committee. Debbie Wasserman Schultz resigned in the wake of the massive email leak that was released on Friday. But here's the thing, okay? A lot of people have covered this story. It's a big story, and it means a lot. But let's get a couple things out of the way really quick. Bernie Sanders did lose the nomination by 3 million votes, okay? Maybe that would have been different had the DNC not been working against him. Unfortunately, that's something that we just can't know anymore. But a lot of the Hillary apologists, I guess you have to call them at this point, are saying that it doesn't matter. You know, the Russians leaked this, and that's what we need to be focused on, is how they're working for Donald Trump. There is absolutely no evidence available at this time, at the time that I am sitting in front of this camera, to suggest that the Russians did this in any way. There's absolutely no evidence to suggest that. That claim was made by a Clinton surrogate on the Sunday morning talk shows who provided, again, no evidence. And even if they did, that doesn't matter right now. It's something that should be dealt with if it turns out to be true, absolutely. But that doesn't change the content of those emails, where we had the heads of the DNC actively working to derail a Democrat, actively working to promote Hillary Clinton. That is not fair. That is not an unbiased, neutral referee as they claim to be. The DNC was working against Bernie Sanders, and they had even come up with several, pretty horrible smears that they were considering using against him, including using the fact that he's Jewish against him in the South. Now, that's something that we've seen Republicans do. This is stuff that would read right out of the Republican playbook. And we're supposed to just accept this because it's the Democratic Party? Let me ask the Hillary apologists this. If we found out that the DNC was actively working to promote Bernie Sanders and derail Hillary, how would you feel at this point? What would you be saying? Don't dismiss it just because it went in your favor this time, because it may not happen that way next time. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is a disgrace, not just to the DNC, but to this country, because she's still an elected official. And hopefully Tim Canova, her primary opponent, uses this to take her out. We don't need her in Congress. We don't need her in Philadelphia right now. And we certainly don't need her in the DNC. This is unforgivable. But another thing that's interesting about this is that for months and months, these Hillary apologists were out there attacking Bernie Sanders supporters for being unrealistic, for being paranoid, for making up these conspiracy theories. Well, this past weekend, every single one of those claims was validated. The Bernie Sanders supporters were vindicated. Have you seen any apologies from the Hillary supporters saying they were wrong to call out the Bernie supporters? Because I sure as hell haven't. I've seen Meghan McCain tweet out that she takes back what she said. But here's the thing. When you screw up, when you say something that's not true, you have to apologize. And that's what I'm waiting to see. I want to see all of these Hillary Clinton supporters out there apologize for being wrong, for accusing the Sanders supporters of being paranoid. Because again, everything was validated this weekend. And it could not have happened at a worse time for Hillary Clinton. Because we were at a point where some of the rifts within the Democratic Party were healing. Many of the Bernie Sanders supporters were coming over to Hillary. That's not going to happen now. It's not. This email leak very well could have handed the election to Donald Trump. And at this point, if the Democrats lose this election, they absolutely deserve it. They did this to themselves.